General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ebigambo byasobyeddemu Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert Bobi Wine kasokeno zatandike bwe tuti.
Issue of us not being able to vote in the UK, Museveni thinks that the moment we leave Uganda and go abroad, we become opposition, and his biggest fear is getting people to vote, and 100% they vote the opposition. I think that's one of his biggest fear, and that's why he doesn't let people abroad vote. But we should have a right in how the country is governed, and we should be able to vote because we contribute a lot to the economy. And we're still Ugandans. Living abroad does not strip us of our citizenship in any way or form. Yes, thank you very much, Comrade Demi. Comrade Mimi, are you ready?
Yeah, thank you so much, Comrade, and again I welcome everybody to this, to the Zoom. And yeah, about the UK, I think it's so nice to share about the speeches, the handovers, and it's so important to share that and to show Ugandans that things can. It's normal for transitions to take place, and it's not about just being stuck in government forever, you know. So why wouldn't we desire that? So we have to promote that. It's so unfortunate that I'm not seeing a lot of us sharing that and, you know, trying to show people that there's always a time when you have to transition a government and not just be stuck. Because when you're stuck in one government, there is no change. If there is no change in something, you're just stagnant. There's a time you reach when you're stagnant, and when you need new blood and new ideas, new people to come in and change things. But if you are just stuck there 30 years, you're in the government, you know, there's nothing new you're bringing. There's nothing new that is changing, you know. If you say, oh, maybe we give them another Chisanja and maybe hospitals are now better than the last Chisanja, but it's the same old things. And I don't understand why Ugandans cannot see that, whereby somebody comes and tells you, you want to vote, you've been in parliament 3 times, and still they are coming back 4th time. And even in your own chalo, there's no change. Not even the roads they came in to come and ask for a vote. There's no change, and you're still voting the same thing. So I was seeing this map going around of Uganda's MPs. The Western has almost the combined total of all the other 3 regions. Why can't we say something about that? And those are the little things I think diaspora. We are just ignoring, and then we're just going on the flow of things that, oh, now Akagudeo is Kenya, Akagudeo is this. What about those little things we're ignoring, you know? How can MPs be in one region, combines the 3 regions? Don't you guys wonder about that? About going back, I'm diverting. Going back to UK. I think our leaders, FENA diaspora, we now have to start aligning. Kubanga Manyinti the Labour Party has not been there for a while, hasn't been in power for a while. So we need to align ourselves and know whom we can relate to. About UK, we know to educating out, this is the person to go to this, because these are new people. So anytime there's a new hand of government, you start finding the people whom you're going to align with or who presenting ensongas. So that is another thing we have to think about. But also, China Chechituyigiriza, when we notice, because the guy that was there, I know he had this policy of Rwanda, getting refugees and sending them to Rwanda. The Rwanda that is a dictator itself, you know. Kati, I think Chechajeko Conservative Party of Singa. Many people went in and voted that. and voted the other way. But the Labour Party also should watch out. What are they going to do for the UK people, but also for the immigrants? Kubanga population here. So let's learn something from that and let's promote and tweet about it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Comrade Mimi. Comrade Dorcas, are we getting ready for the moment of silence?
We still have 2 minutes if you want to feedback that, and then we will do the moment. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. Comrade Godfrey, you got your hand up.
Okay, can you hear me, Ismail?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks very much. I'm gonna disagree with my sister, Demi. She will kill me today.
Which is okay. To disagree.
Yeah, me, I'm for elections. The president, the secretaries have said we have to go to elections because that's what democrats demand. So that's non-negotiable in my eyes, yeah. But this time, as I said, we have to, when we go and vote, we have to guard the vote and we have to make sure we get the outcomes we want. If we surely have one, we should insist, we should go to the streets. If that demands, we should do that. And another thing regarding the UK elections, there are two words, the Rwanda issue, the immigration issue, which is quite toxic. But among all, what the issue was regarding Palestinians, yeah, the issue. So the young people who are more brave would have voted for anyone who aligned with the suffering of the Palestinians. Although the Labour leader wasn't too forthcoming regarding it due to, I mean, it's the way you talk, those who are in power. So you have to talk the language, whether you mean it or not. But that's another story. But we do indeed have a lot of MPs to identify with within the Labour Party. And that's no, I'm just disappointed my man didn't stand this time, Dr. Williams, because he is one of our men we can rely on, but most of them we can identify with, I think went through. I think that's it for now. It's almost time to go for our moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade. Back to you, Comrade Dorcas.
Oh, sorry, I was speaking in a muted mic. Yes, let's have a moment of silence, guys. I will share my screen. I hope it can be seen.
Yeah. Here you are talking about that you wanna, you're exposing all of this, all of that, and then they call you to State House and you immediately jump on a bus and you go there to to shake hands with the people who are oppressors.
Very people you criticize, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how about the people who've sent you the information? Are you not gonna sell them out or something like that?
It is sad. I think Ugandans have actually failed to realize that it is we ourselves that need to be free. So doing all these things to appease the dictator and his team, it's a complete waste of time, you know, because in the end, it's the Ugandan that is suffering. It's like people have sold their souls to this devil, you know, and they don't realize even the infights that we have in the groups, as Ugandans, the dictator is just happy. He's
sowing the master seeds, as
yeah,
he likes to
yeah.
call it.
Yeah. So we have to realize that the enemy is Museveni, and let us not give in. We have to fight. We have to stop this guy. Yeah. So I really want us to get comrade, one of the comrades, perhaps Madways, to speak to us about the 23rd of July. I'm really hoping that Ugandans actually take action. Let this be our moment instead of us waiting to see what happens in 2026. We can take charge now, maybe on the 23rd or even before. So, comrade, I don't know.
There's also some messages in a group, if we could read them out. So there's a message from Comrade Joe saying, this is Museveni destroying the credibility of the anti-corruption campaign. Museveni did not really, anyway, we weren't there, but I don't think he forced this guy to go to State House. Was even, you know, he took the pictures, he's there, he's smiling, and everything is sweet, he's all happy. And also we've got from Comrade Mimi, we must vote. We cannot fight outside Parliament without knowing what's going on. We have to vote the representatives into Parliament, which is correct. We've also got one more. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we've got two people with their hands up. We've got Comrade Demi and Comrade Rukwago. I'll start with Comrade Rukwago, then I'll come back to you, Comrade Demi. Comrade Rukwago, unmute and speak to us, please.
Yes. Am I audible?
Loud and clear.
Yeah. Actually, I've heard you talking about Toko. What did he do?
So like there was a picture that was going around, and he was in State House apparently, right? And it's kind of any moment we see anybody who's on the right side, right, of history and is smiling or is shaking hands or doing whatever with a dictator. For me, I personally, I am done with you. You're as good as dead to me, honestly.
When did that photo happen to show up?
This week.
This week, actually,
Saturday,
those guys, you know, those guys are trying to engage Museveni to host him on Agora discourse.
Yeah.
So that Ugandans can engage Museveni over corruption.
Okay.
And they wrote a letter to him, to the office of the president. Perhaps that's what Toho is trying to finalize. We should give him a benefit of doubt.
Yeah.
And actually, they posted that letter that on 1st of July, Agora Discourse wrote to the office of the presidency, trying their level best to talk to Museveni, actually to be hosted, just like you saw Ruto hosted a Twitter space, and when his account was so much bagged, it happened to be hosted by a known Kenyan who hosts what? Twitter spaces. Perhaps that is what they are chasing for. Am I understood?
You clear?
Yeah, they are trying to force Museveni onto a Twitter space so that you Ugandans, you can ask him whichever question you feel like about corruption. That's what they told us. You know, I normally engage them over Agora Discourse. We dissect Ugandan issues. So that's what perhaps he's trying to do. Don't say that he betrayed you. No. They want to bring Museveni to their Twitter space, Agora discourse. That's what I wanted to clarify. What is the topic of discussion? And I've just chipped in.
So the topic of discussion, we were talking about the general elections that went on in the UK this week. And we're trying to compare them with our general elections in Uganda. We talked about how peaceful and how the internet was not switched off. There was no any killings or anything like that. And the winners and the losers, they shook hands and they carried on, and the country carried on as normal. There has not been any blood spill or anything like that. And they were wondering how comes that is not emulated in Uganda.
So here in Uganda, we have an electoral autocrat who manipulates the civil society organizations, who manipulates the electoral commission, who even goes overboard by manipulating his opponents. Okay? You saw the way it treated him, Gundi, Bobi Wine and Senyonyi when they actually going for their nominations. So, what happened in the UK? You know, in the UK, they have that culture, respect. They command that respect for themselves. It is in the UK where we saw a leader resigning simply because he violated the COVID-19 regulations. In Uganda, Luther Change, who actually came up with them, and Evelyn Anite, a minister, even the LSA minister, they violated the COVID-19 regulation, but never did they step aside. They are still ministers. And mind you, UK is a colonial master of Uganda. They cannot be on the same page. What Museveni does is to suit the interests of UK, and the UK cares less about the human rights violation, okay, about the election malpractices in our elections. What they care about, does Museveni fulfill our interests? Is he taking care of the refugees we are giving him? That is it. But in Uganda, for actually, even if we participate in elections, but they are not credible. When we go into elections, there is always a parallel tallying center manned up by SFC. Its major role is to manipulate election results in favor of Museveni. That cannot happen in UK. It cannot happen in UK simply because they have certain standards of discipline they believe in. They respect their nationals. They make sure that they conduct free and fair elections, which is not the case here in Uganda. And Bobi Wine always makes it clear to us that he understands election cannot overthrow Museveni out of power, but they involve themselves in this Ugandan election to use that opportunity for election campaign to mobilize Ugandans for a future noble cause. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you very much, Comrade Lukwago. Comrade Mimi, sorry, Comrade Demi. Mute.
Hello. Well, I think I'll start on the sour note. My experience on Twitter, I've always known Itoko as NRM. And when I saw him onto this anti-corruption campaign, Ugandans jumping with him, I kept quiet because Ugandans, whatever you say, if they don't agree, they feel as if you are touching in their eyes. That is how I've ever known him. And I was wondering how he changed. Me and him, we've had exchanges before. And my Twitter space timeline can exonerate me on that. I think we have to be wary. Wherever we go, there will be people who belong to NRM, who come from NRM. But it is how we execute our duty. If it comes on our side for corruption, I know somebody different. But my comrade in the studio, the host, just tolerate it. Don't be put off by people like that is the end. No, we're gonna need each other. We are all Ugandans. Somebody might come and fight corruption from another side with bad intention, but we fight corruption. So be it. For me, I'm just open-minded. That's me. But other people, I understand my brother that for you, that is, I respect your what? Your position. Second, Comrade Iga, I think you have a problem whenever I say something. When I say election, they are death trap, it's the truth. When I say we shouldn't go, I don't mean you are not going to go. I don't have any final answer on that. The only person I don't disagree with is only God. If we are talking about democracy, we should respect each other. I used to believe in election. I used to urge people to go in election, but having seen this, we don't have electoral forms. Museveni selected the people. The Abakama is still there. The army is still partisan. The UPDF it is. So I'm saying if we have an alternative not to go to election, we should use it. We should use it. Lwaki tetukozesa omukisa? Lwaki tetuteekawo embeera? Lwaki twegomba bannakenya? Ebintu byonna nga sista mini bw'ayogedde bisoboka. Ono omusajja Keir Starmer becoming the Prime Minister wa UK. Yajja is a lawyer barrister. Nga bamugaya. N'agenda mu debate ne baga oyo adebate nze byaba lawyer. Tasobola na kubeera politician. Tasobola na kubeera Prime Minister. Look at him. Bakugamba wherever there is a will, there is a way. Naye bwe munaabanga mushatinga down people ababa bagamba si mutima omubi. Nze sikyogera mu bubi. Nze mu kulonda sijja kulonda ekyo nkyogera misana. Sigenda kulonda nga Museveni akyali president sibikkiririzaamu. Abaana tubatrainiza bagenda okukuuma akalulu. Abagenda okwesimbawo tubalina. Sente ze bagenda okuwaayo miliyoni 3 bazirina. Empapula bazirina. Era tudde mu biliyoni talina mpapula. Tumusondere. Are we prepared? Kyekintu ekikulu. Are we united? Are we united? Kale nze sirina gagenda mu ebyo kubanga ng'olabika buli kaseera oba oyagala tubeerawo ku friction. Naye mbadde nkusaba olwaleero kikome. Ate olina n'essimu yange lwaki tonkubira naawe? Siraba lwaki tonkubira ne tunyumya. Nkubira nva kukola kati I have plenty of time. Naye tujja kweyongera to disagree. Okiraba? Naye ng'ekikulu ekigendera kujjako Museveni. Tubeere n'omulamu ogujjako Museveni. Okulonda kuno kwe tugendamu abaana baffe nga bakyali mu kkomera. Mwe tekibaluma. Era tweyongere. Nze njagala okubuuza ba MP, what was the strategy to protect these people not to be abducted or murdered? Bwetubanga tugenda so big. Naye nze akalulu akange sinja kubeera ku ground naye sigenda kulonda. Kubanga akalulu kajja kubanga kanfiira bwereere. Kati anyway, naye nga twekkiririzeemu, it's not the end. Mwe gye munaakoma okulowooza nti bibeere bwe bityo, tugende nga 23 tuyiiribe. Road Mayor yatugamba tugende. Lwaki temukkiriza? Lwaki mukkiriza ogenda nga mumanya akalulu bagenda kutubba? Tugende tuyiiribe. Tukkirire. Brother wange Iga. Nkubiraako essimu yange ogirina. Kubiraako tuteese tugende tuyiiribe. Lwaki tokkiriza? Ffe twegomba by'e Kenya. Lwaki ffe tetukkirizaako ku byaffe? Naffe tugende tuyiribe 23 July. Brother Yiga, yanguwako omukwano. Yanguwako. Anyway, byange kansigale nga mbalaba paka we nagwa program. Neyanziza webale kumpa omukisa.
Yes, thank you very much, Comrade Demi. Always a pleasure speaking to you. And Comrade Yiga, nsubira byonna bye boogedde obiwulidde. Now, yeah, pick up the phone. She's only a phone call away. Yes, thank you very much. We've got Comrade Sebuganda Richard. Please unmute and speak to us.
Yes, hello everyone. The name of the person in the campaign, I think it was, I beg to make a correction, it's Anthony Native.
Mm-hmm.
Then went to the state, and there have been allegations, and they are not allegations actually. He went there, and he has been trying to defend himself recent. I think the past 2 days. Then I beg to quote the previous speaker about the election saga, election and the Shama elections that are being organized by the Electoral Commission in Uganda. I think I beg to contradict a bit. I don't think we need to shun these elections because that's how best we can. I think we can use the elections to boost the revolution because there are very many programs, and I think it's about empowering the community. There are issues. There are a lot of weaknesses we can attack the dictator, and one of them I've been thinking about keenly lately is internet shutdown, because in the previous elections he used it as a tool to keep the electorate having little information about what's ongoing. However, as we turn to 2026, you realize there is a lot of engagement on internet from Ugandans, social media, TikTok, Facebook, we have Twitter. There have been a lot of activities that have taken place because of social media, and I feel like it has become part of the Ugandans. I did a short course about internet shutdown, and I think the best way is to ensure that the natives know the rights of the internet, and then also how to mitigate this, having VPNs, things of a sort, and then we drive the campaign of internet shutdown so that to ensure that the internet is on. The moment it tampers with it, there is triggering the emotions of the very many people in Uganda. I feel like those are amongst the moods, but we should put a revolutionary mood before the election. As we go into the election, we can build on that, the results and whatsoever is taking place to drive a revolution. I feel like it's one. Then amongst the anti-corruption peaceful demonstration, well, it's a very good initiative. And I don't know how the Kenyan brothers did it. I don't know how they have come to mold such a very good activity that has been globally recognized, and the natives have taken it up. I feel like that is still lacking in Uganda, and I think we need to do revision. We might not be exactly as Kenyans, but we need to know not exactly the people who are outside, but even this young generation of ours. We need to know how they have come. We need to be on ground and in touch with some of these guys who have driven this Kenyan thing. And I think that all revolves around empowerment. I beg to submit.
Thank you very much, comrade. I was hoping you're gonna tell us how we can get around this internet shutdown. if there's any type of equipment that maybe we could use, because what I don't want to happen is the next general election, the same thing will happen where like he will shut down the internet for like 2 weeks, right? As if we didn't know that he was going to do that. So is there any kind of technology or software that Ugandans can start embracing now so that when that time comes, at least we have a way around that? Like, is there something like that, comrade? Hello? Okay, I'm going to pass the mic on to Comrade Joe. Comrade Joe, unmute and speak to us.
I don't know if Comrade Madways is ready. Is Joe ready to speak to us or?
Yeah, yes,
Fine.
Marie.
Hi,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. But,
hi, hi,
So,
Comrade
Comrade
Ismail.
Joe, the mic is yours. Yeah.
Thank you. Do you hear me?
Yes, we do clear.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Comrade Ismail, and thank you very much, Comrade Docus. Thank you for the resilience. I think I don't know if Midways is he might be at work. If he's not able to speak about the campaign, I can speak about the upcoming campaign, which is due to take place on the 23rd of July. That is the march to Parliament, but also the same kind of protest will be replicated across the different areas in Uganda. That's the campaign. We've put out some posters, and I've posted one in our chat room. The idea is to start to roll out activities or protests on a daily basis. Initially, this campaign will start tomorrow, as a matter of fact. At 1 o'clock, we are urging the people to stop whatever they are doing so that they protest in terms of either blowing their whistles, vuvuzelas, or banging pans, tins, or any other objects that they might have in their in their vicinity. We also urge the people driving to hoot continuously. So I think after 2-3 days, we want to roll this out to be taking to be happening twice a day. That is morning hours and evening hours, and ideal around 6 o'clock. I think that will create a buzz. So what this will do, what this achieves is, first of all, it will have a mobilizing effect. When people get involved and they make that protest. Second, we want to create a connection, across the country. That will also help people to stop and reflect and really express their displeasure at what is happening. Thirdly, I think this helps to dispel the fear factor. We know, given the past experience of, people have been brutalized, people have been arrested, tortured, and, so there is the fear factor. So this will slowly help to dispel the fear factor, such that when the 23rd comes, people will be in tune. And fourthly, it will create a momentum. I think as we do this, people will identify with what is happening. So when the 23rd comes, people will be ready to go out and march to Parliament. The fight against corruption is we are fighting against a very, very big problem. As a matter of fact, corruption is an existential threat to the nation state, and this calls upon everyone, to really join the bandwagon and and fight against corruption and join this campaign, because no one is spared. And that is why we're saying this is a cross-party it's a cross-party campaign. It is a cross-party social movement that engages and invites people of different political affiliations. So it is not limited to opposition, but to all Ugandans who really want change. What will it achieve? We of course, ideally one would have wished to overhaul the system, but maybe it is a good starting point. And I think incrementally we can begin broadening our demands, from here, starting with Anita must resign, and we can broaden that to include other demands. And finally, I think let me comment on what has just happened in the UK. We welcome the Labour Party, taking over, and I think the prospects look much, much better than it has been in the past, for the simple reason that the Tory party was really populated by many politicians who are of Ugandan descent and who had a very big interest in perpetuating the dictatorship and maintaining Museveni in power. I think I see an opening, and let's encourage our brethren in the UK to continue to engage. I've seen Lami David is the foreign minister, and I think that is somebody we've tried to engage in the past, although he wasn't very responsive. But I think given more pressure, I think these are people we can do business with. So Museveni's world is going to, I think, shrink even more. And I really think if we get it right, we could get Museveni, we could get the UK government to sanction Museveni. Yeah, I think that is what I can say for now, ladies and gentlemen. Comrade Ismail, I yield the mic. Thank you.
Thank you, Comrade Joe. As eloquent as always. Yes, we'll continue to engage the new government taking over, and we'll constantly remind them of the plight of Ugandans. I've got Comrade Henry. I think he wanted to finish off his point. Comrade Henry, unmute and speak to us, please. Henry, we can hear you. Okay. Comrade Godfrey.
Yeah, thanks very much, Ismail, and to everyone who has submitted. Now, the issue with the internet during an election, we should go back to the notion that before we didn't have the internet and we could do elections. Yeah. The most important thing on election is to vote and guard the votes, and during the counting and know the results. This is the rights we demand, and for people not to vote and go home and think that's done. We need to drop the fear during the elections. Yeah, you vote. You can go do whatever you want. During the counting, you have to be there. It's one day. No one should intimidate you by saying, when you finish voting, you go. No, I've voted. I need to know the results. I need to be there when they are counted, and I can document them. Now, when they shut down the internet, that's fine. But after the internet has been opened, or even before that, people will know who they voted for, how many votes when they were tallied in that particular area or whatever zone. And this is a hard evidence. And then we have the right to demand what we voted for after the counting, not to rely on the Electoral Commission, the crap they came up with, which was unacceptable. And it was shameful. So if people had insisted, went on the streets to say, no, you are announcing the wrong results, we don't agree with you, things would have been different by now. But if we don't drop the fear, we'll have the same thing again. Now, I'm not saying we have to rely on the vote solely, but voting gives us credibility and the actions we take after, which means we've voted, you have not respected our vote, we go on the second phase, with the protest, and then we demand justice. This means we are protecting or enforcing what's in the Constitution. That's the people power. I would want my people to vote, and when that vote we've won it, to declare the president or those who have won peacefully. Now, Mimi was, I can't remember whether it was Mimi who was talking about people not coming out and questioning why you got so many MPs in one particular area. Yet this was done for gerrymandering reasons. When you know no one else wants you in the other areas, illegally he partitioned the areas to get more MPs. So you go areas which has got more cows than people, and you got more votes than cows. So how that works out, I'm not so sure. But that's the reality in Uganda. Well, we go with that. Even if they double their number in those areas, they realistically they can't defeat the whole nation. And we hope this time people are more stronger, because we are going to be stronger. Yes, we spent a lot of our savings last time, and this time we will manage. We don't have to. What we urge our people is not to be bold. In campaigning, you don't need people to buy you salt, soap, or things like that so you can vote them. Then they are not accountable. The only money you want for someone canvassing for votes is for transport, for himself, People should not be bold, and we should educate our people. You don't attend a rally just because you heard someone is going to give out to underpants or things like that. You are attending to hear the message. You don't have to be there. If you heard the message on the radio or on the internet, you can go about, do your thing, know when to vote, go and vote. And this is what I'm thinking anyway. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Comrade Godfrey. We could look into like hardware, like for example, Starlink. We could use Starlink to basically Starlink uses satellite technology for the internet, so that when they do switch off the internet, at least we still have connection to transmit the data. I'll now give the mic to Comrade Nanyonjo, and then after that we'll move on to Comrade Mimi, and then Comrade Lukwago. Comrade Nanyonjo, unmute and speak to us, please. Unmute.
Here, I'm speaking to you from Kenya right now. That's where I'm living. Kumulamwa gwe tuliko gwe tutandikiddeko oba ne we tuli we nabasanze kuba nakajja okubeegattako ku Zoom chairman wange nga connectinze tubeere wamu tutesize wamu naye nga ndi munnabyankyukakyuka. Ndi ku mulamwa kwe tutambulira kwennyini, naye ku nsonga gye tuliko olwaleero oba nga bannaffe bwe tuzze tulaba ebintu engeri gye bitambula, nze ku lwange ng'omuntu nga tuddako katono emabega okusinziira Oweekitiibwa Pulezidenti nga bwe yali yatugamba nti singa ffenna tukwataganyiza wamu ne tuwulira okuteesa kwaffe kwonna nga bwe tuba tuze ne tuteesa ng'abooluganda oba bannankyukakyuka ne tugamba nti kati tugenda kulwanyisa kino kye tugenda okukyusa era omulamwa nga bwe guli mu ddiro nti twagala kuggyako kinnakyemalira. Nzijukira bulungi emabega ennyo pulezidenti bwe yagamba nti agenda kufuuwa ffirimbi ffenna tufulume tutambule oba tulina abaana bato babatya okusinziira ku miliyoni ezo bwe tuli abawagira enkyukakyuka eri mu Uganda. Ndowooza ennamba ntono nnyo eyavaayo. Lwaki? Okusinga twogera nnyo wano ate ne tumaliriza nga tetugenze mu bikolwa. So bakomuledizi bannange nze n'enteesa nga ngamba nti singa tukwataganira wamu kubanga bangi nnyo abazze nga batulaga nti bannankyukakyuka naye ng'ate batuyita emabega ne batulyamu olukwe. So ngenda kuteesa nga ngamba era ng'ate nina ekibuuzo ekibuuza nti tugenda kukola tutya okutegeera nti tukwataganira wamu omulamwa gwe tuba tuyisiza wano oba gwe tuba tuteesezzaako ffenna tugufolowinga enkya ne gutufuukira ekyo ekigenda okutuyamba mu maaso. Lwa nsonga nti tuteesa bannaffe bangi batulyamu enkwe ne weesanga nga kye tuteesezza wano ate bw'obasanga eyo gye bayita si kye baba boogerako. Y'ensonga lwaki kitulemesezza nnyo okuvaayo n'okubaako kye tukola ekigenda mu maaso. Ng'omukyalo oli bw'ayogedde n'agamba nti ye tagenda kulonda nga bannaffe bakyali mu makomera nga tewali oba okulonda nga bw'abyogeddeko byonna nga bwe mubiwulidde. Naye nze ngamba nze nti tukwataganire wamu tumanye bannaffe ki be tusobola okwogera nabo mu nsonga zaffe ez'enkyukakyuka. Nkozesezza Luganda ndowooza n'abalala bampulira bulungi. Tutambulire wamu tusobole okulaba nga tuggyako nakyemalira. Ku nkola eyabaddewo Kenya wano wennyini wennyimiridde wenjogerera ffenaffe tusobola okufuuka ekyokulabirako nga singa tuba tusse ekintu kimu era ng'ekyamazima kye tuliko tukikakasa nti twetaaga okukyusa obukulembeze. Nga mukama waffe bwe yagamba nti campaign teyinza bwe yayogera n'agamba nti waliwo campaign teyinza kukyusa bukulembeze naye okuggyako nga tutaddemu ebikolwa. Nze ngamba tusituke twekembe tukwataganire wamu tulabe ki ekiyinza okukyusa ensi yaffe Uganda. Ne ku by'obukulembeze nga bwe tubyogerako nabyo tutunule twekkaanye baani be tulonda kubanga bangi nnyo abalondeddwa naye ate bamaze ne batutunda ne batulyamu olukwe. Nze bwe nti bwe mbadde nteesa bakomuledizi bannange simanyi oba ndi loud and clear mujja kuntereezaamu kaawo neyanza nnyo ssebo neyanzeege.
Tweyanziza nnyo Comrade Nanyonjo, message ebadde loud and clear. I'm gonna give the mic to Comrade Mimi and then we've got Comrade Madways will be next after that.
Thank you so much. Nze ndi muntu wa of course elections and Comrade Demi that is my stand on that. Simu bubi naye nze omanyi ntunuulira ebintu bwe nti ne ngamba nti bwe tutalonda bantu bafa. Mumanyi abafa bulijjo ndowooza abasinga n'abo abafa mu elections. It does not matter.
But how do we minimize the body count that we lose?
It does not matter kubanga be tutalaba ku internet be bangi abafa. Okitegeera ne webanga tebafudde nti babakubye masasi but some people are in the hospitals dying. Waliwo abali Kalamojja bafa njala. So it does not matter kyetutya anti no okuminimizing abafa. I think abafa abasinga n'abafa mu elections. Ekyokubiri, that is our right. The constitution wadde bagi hijacking gives us a right to vote, to go out there and vote. Ekyokusatu, amawanga gano gonna ag'ebwetu. There is no way you're not going to give, there is no way gy'otosobola kubawa evidence. Okulaga nti bannange anti ate tetwagenda mu election kubanga twamanya nti za kugira. They need evidence that you guys tried. You cannot just be there and just tell them until twagenda kubanga already zali sham. Baitaga evidence, and we need that evidence to show that the election was not transparent. Nature kubiri, we need that evidence okulaga nti nochi bakabya akalulu era kwega byonna tubyetaga nga evidence going down. Naye bw'otobeera ne evidence ko netugamba nti tetujja kagenda, we are not good. We have to go there. Ekyokuna, tulina okubeera mu parliament, tulina okusendinga representatives there kubanga there is no way tosobola kulwanira lutalo bwe lwa nyumba. You cannot, because you will not know what bills are passing. You will not know what things they are doing there. Senga tetwalina representatives recently ku bintu bya parliament bino, would we have known if we didn't have any representatives there? Oba nga tulina representatives abali compromised ng'emyaka gino gyonna emirala egibaddewo, tulowooza tulina abantu, you think kitandise kati nti people balya? No, it started way back. Now it needed to get some people who are well groomed in transparency of getting parliament, okumanya nti parliament eneri. Kati nze, to me, those arguments ngazi bwenzi kuwadde comrade wange Demi awo abantu tulina okugenda okwelectinga wakiri tulwanirire reforms whereby nti no akalulu tetukyayagala kano kabauti twagala babale bantu mu line. Wakiri, let us push for that. Let us push for that. Nti tulaba kati tulaba line ya gundi nti oyo yawangudde. Kijja tumala transparency, buli omu avaawo amatidde, naffe abagamba nti no bakabbye tuvaawo tumatidde nti no omubaka waffe Mr. Ssenyonyi teyabadde n'abantu, line yabadde bako babiri eya NRM, awo tukkiriza. Let us push for that. Let us push for the diaspora also to vote. Bintu ng'ebyo byonna tubipushinge mu kifo ky'okugamba byabakama be bali ku gundi. Let us push for those things we know. And let us not wait until elections. Naye tutandike kati to push those narratives. Nze yendowooza eyange. N'ekirala njagala correctinga something kyenjogedde ku MPs. Actually, Mr. Sebuganda corrected me. MPs, eyo gundi post ebadde going around, nti most of them come from Western is actually incorrect. Probably it's part of the propaganda. So I correct myself. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much, Comrade Mimi. I'll now give the mic to Comrade Madways.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, everyone.
Comrade Madways, can you turn up your mic,
Sorry.
please?
Is the volume okay now?
Can you increase it slightly, please? Thank you.
How about now?
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you.
I was saying good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone is okay. Comrade Ismail, thank you for the show, let me say, and thanks for everyone who has participated. For me, I'm going to talk about the campaign which is going on about the 23rd July 2024. Actually, this campaign started now. It's like today is the 14th or 15th day after what happened in Kenya, or what is happening in Kenya. But I don't want us to be, I don't want Uganda to think that we are copying Kenyans, because I remember it was late July. Kakwenza came out on his Twitter, Twitter handle and said, Ugandans who are ready, who can march to parliament, get ready. So this was not before, this was not after what is going on in Kenya. We are doing this as Ugandans. And we are doing this regardless our tribes or religion is, all parties. This is organized by Ugandans who decided to stay away from their political parties. And this is the cry most of us we've been having, that why can't we, if we want to liberate our country, why can't we first stay away from our political parties and we focus on liberating the nation? And thank God it is coming to pass. And it is very serious. Some people may say, Uganda because that has been the narrative always. But the top heads are feeling the heat. Why am I saying the top heads are feeling the heat? Parliament yali egenze mu kuwummulamu ng'egenda kudda on the 23rd of this month. But when these organization programs started, they decided to change, and Parliament, but I think this week on Tuesday. It is because of the heat. They're feeling the heat. These all comedies, may I call them comedies? We've seen the parliament, the MPs are arrested because of corruption, everything they are saying with the fights which are going on. Personally, I call them comedy. Trying to divert what Ugandan is on what they are planning. And we are not focusing on them. We are not giving them space. We are not giving them time. What is being planned has no leader. No one is leading. Everyone is doing his or her own best. And it is progressing. Because they are feeling the heat. Because we are having Twitter spaces every day, morning to midnight. Now they have resorted to hacking them every time they are crashing the Twitter spaces. Every time they are crashing the Twitter spaces, meaning they are feeling the heat. We are getting many people coming in the spaces, threatening Ugandans, you can't do anything, what? You are going to be killed. We are giving them deaf ears. And there is Mr. Swipe talked about the letter Agola wrote to Museveni that they would wish to invite him on space and discuss, share views with the Ugandans.
Do we really want him there? We want him there.
That was yesterday's motion, and everyone was, how can we start discussing this motion here? We don't need him.
We don't negotiate with terrorists and murderers.
He had the chances for almost 40 years, and he didn't use that chance. We don't need, and actually, it's not the one we are going for. Someone said, the march to parliament, we are not marching to a state house. Why are they rushing to bring in Museveni here? Let them first wait and see. What are we going to do in the state house? In the parliament, because what is taking us to the parliament is about corruption. Unless they are saying is the one behind all the corruption. So,
as you're wrapping up, please.
As I'm wrapping up, the first 2 weeks we are finishing. I've been for mobilization, and now we are going on step 2, whereby we are putting in actions leading us to the 23rd. And from tomorrow, we put up a program whereby we are requesting Ugandans, those at home, those who are on ground, that at exactly every 1 p.m. they spare us 20 minutes off from work, and everyone make at least some noise. wherever they are. I remember Dr. Besigye brought this idea some time back. It was kind of fun, though it didn't work out, but it was because this charmage byalimu politics, byalimu unity, FDC let's say program, but this program is not owned by any political party. And we are even in the spaces, we are not allowing any political leader, even MPs, to engage with us. So everyone here spread the news, comes a message. 23rd July, we are going to Ja. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Comrade Madways. Yeah, so it's a national call out and it's starting tomorrow. If you have a whistle, a vuvuzela, a saucepan, anything to make noise at 1 o'clock from tomorrow as leading up to the 23rd of July. Yes. Yes, okay. As we close, I'm gonna give the mic to Comrade James William Mugenyi. Please unmute and speak to us. We're closing in 5 minutes, so please keep your remarks brief. And then I'll get Comrade Demi to close us out in the end, and then that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you can hear me because I had to escape. I had to move out of the hospital to be able to speak because I'm in a tight corner of the hospital. So I decided to sit in the hospital gardens to echo a little on what Madways was talking about. I missed the contributions of everyone. I've just listened to Madways. Yes, the issue is the lessons just to learn from Kenya. Look at
Comrade James. I think he's got bad signal at the minute.
Yeah, Comrade James, your signal is so poor.
And people asking, hopefully you did not leave a patient on the operating table to come and speak to us.
let me go back. Let me go back inside inside. Maybe I can speak. Let me first walk back inside.
Yeah.
And I try.
Please.
Yeah, as
ndowooza embeera ogiwulira eriwo Abannayuganda bali lwedde beeteefuteefu beetegese okulaba nga wabaawo ekikolebwa gavumenti ya General Museveni ate okufuuka olufumo buli bwenguzi bususse bwe kimu kisusse buli Munnayuganda avaayo okubaako kyakola okubaako kyateeka ku mmeeza okulaga obutali bumativu okulaga obutali bwenkanya obuli mu ggwanga lyaffe ate nga buvunaanyizibwa bwange okulaba nga tutereeza embeera eno okulaba tutereeza bino ebigenda mu maaso mu nsi yaffe esobola okuba ensi ennungi esobola okuba eggwanga eddungi eggwanga eddonde ffenna lyetwesiimisa era ffenna lyetuneeyagaliramu tuliteeka ku mutendero ogwo twetaaga kale mbagala nnyo mwenna Omukama Katonda Uganda mu gakitafa 12 nsaba nkuumire tujja kuba tuddamu fanange mweraba.